Greetings, Libra and Libra rising. This is your Western forecast for April 2025. I want to talk about relationships, contracts, partnerships. It's going to be very significant in these next few months that could be impacting you for the next few years. This is because the new moon solar eclipse, that's a new moon on steroids that I talked about last month, is in the sign of Aries, once every 19 years. Aries, new beginnings, initiating new confidence, new leadership, new assertion. It began March the 29th, and it's in Aries, which is opposite Libra. Opposite always deals with the significant other, from contracts, business partnerships, marriage, or your significant other. And a new moon, especially in Aries, eclipse, is trying to awaken all new energies. But it's a darkening of the light. So it could take 30, 60 days, roughly, to start to reveal these new directions, these new paths that involves relationships. Now, give some clues of what this is, what type of partnership we're talking about. Because this, with the eclipse, it's all new and life-changing. Let's start with Venus, the ruling planet for Libra. Your ruling planet is always, with Venus, is pointing you towards your life purpose. Venus is that planet of love and desire, creativity, what you appreciate and value. Venus went retrograde March the 1st, 2025, in Aries, in your 7th house of relationships. And when Venus is in retrograde, it tests relationships, that's Venus. Reevaluates relationships, that's Venus. But it went retrograde in your 7th house of partnerships from Libra. Venus then retrograded out of Aries as we're getting closer to April into Pisces. Pisces is 6 signs past Libra. Venus is retrograding, so we're still second-guessing, reevaluating in Pisces, in your 6th house, till April the 12th. After April the 12th, the Venus starts to have a little bit more clarity, more confidence about what it values, with it in the 6th house, being in Pisces. The 6th house emphasis is your job, co-workers, but it's also the job of taking care of others. It's also the 6th house of our day-to-day work routine. With Venus retrograde in the 6th house, you could be losing your job, or co-workers, they could be moving on. There might be some, these challenges and frustrations with coworkers, because all that, those employer-employee dynamics could be being reevaluated and tested. That's the Venus in the 6th house. Mercury went retrograde in Aries in your 7th house. That's a beginning of a breakdown in communications. Among many things, expect the unexpected with Mercury in retrograde. Agreements, Mercury, will often change. Mercury went retrograde in Aries in your 7th house of relationships about the 14th of March. As we got closer to April, Mercury also retrograded out of Aries into Pisces in your 6th house, it starts to go direct April the 7th. The 6th house is your job skills, your coworkers. The 6th house can also be dealing with health matters. for self-improvement, changing your diet, getting back to exercising. And with Mercury interested in it, learning all about it. But I think there's a major emphasis on partnerships and contracts. So to have negotiating Mercury in going direct in the 6th house and cooperative Venus going direct on the 12th in your 6th house, I think this is about a lot more focus on work. Maybe you are bringing in a major partner or a major contract to really enhance your work. Saturn, taskmaster Saturn, is aligning with karmic Pisces. Very rare event because the transiting North Node is goes through all the signs every 19 years. Saturn goes through all the signs every 30 years. Saturn has been in Pisces for the last couple of years, and at the end of May, it's going into Aries. That's a really big deal because karmic, responsible, serious Saturn has been in Pisces. There's a general feel. Pisces is letting go and transition and confusion and anxiety. When it goes into Aries, Aries is the fighter. It's courage. It's wanting to take action and get out of the fuzzy haze transitional energy of Pisces and be committed and take action for the world when it goes into Aries at the end of May. Now, the North Node can feel very karmic, meant to be in hindsight. While you're going through it, it may not seem like it's meant to be. You have no perspective. But one of the things the North Node does do when it's impacting your chart, it amplifies, it intensifies, and it's aligning with Saturn. It's really intensifying a tremendous amount of responsibility, commitment for the long term. It's wanting to build a solid foundation for the long term. It's in Pisces. Now, it's exact from the 17th of April to the 23rd. This can trigger a major event. It's going to be different for everybody, but it has a lot to do with responsibility and commitment. Could be happening a couple of weeks before to a couple of weeks after, but certainly around that 17th to the 23rd in the 6th. That could very well be making a serious commitment to start your own business. And with your ruling planet Venus moving direct once a year in your 6th house with negotiating Mercury in your 6th house, I think you're getting a major contract to really secure your work, bringing in lots of business. Or getting, forming a business partnership and to start a new business. Now, got to look to Mars, ambitious, assertive Mars. But before I do, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. Mars is a 2-year cycle. It's the warrior planet in mythology. Mars is aggressive, it's assertive, it's irritable, it can be argumentative, it's very impatient, but it's very goal-oriented to achieve success. Mars is a 2-year cycle. Mars is going into Leo April the 17th till June the 17th. Leo is 11 signs past Libra. Now, before I discuss what could be triggering for so many of you with Mars in the 11th, is Mars was already in Leo back in November. It retrograded December the 6th in Leo. As we went into the new year, Mars retrograded back into Cancer. And so the first 2 weeks of April, Mars, ambitious, assertive Mars, is in Cancer, which is, but going direct, more decisive, more confident. And Mars in Cancer is highlighting or transiting through your 10th house of business and career. You could be launching new business ventures. You could be incredibly busy, taking major risks. The Mars then goes into Leo April the 17th to June the 17th, 2 months. And like I said, you had clues back in November, December. But when it went retrograde in December, it might have felt more sluggish, more effort. Things might have slowed down. Now, that the Mars is going to be really strong in your career sector the first 2 weeks, but come April the 17th, now it's moving into the 11th. The 11th with Mars is very ambitious and energized, work-oriented, and the 11th can be about groups, teamwork, collaboration. You would be so much more productive working with others, working with a team effort. The 11th house has to do with friendships, socializing, networking. So you could be very busy networking for business or just being very social, attending parties and events. But the 11th house is the sector of our future. It highlights our long-range goals and dreams and aspirations. And with Mars, you could be once every 2 years in the 11th, you could be feeling really ambitious, assertive, confident, to be setting up your long-range goals. So that's that Mars in the 11th it's the house of friendship. The partnership could be with a friend or with an associate that you met networking, working in organizations. With the Venus, Mercury, and Saturn and the North Node all in the 6th house of setting up new work, new business. But it's going to involve, with the solar eclipse every 19 years, with partnerships. Now that could be really expanding your client base. So you maybe have 50 partnerships, or you could have your one partner or 3 partners to build and develop a new business. 2 weeks after the new moon solar eclipse is a full moon. The full moon on April the 13th will be in Libra. And so the full moon, once a year, is revealing what the new moon was bringing into your awareness of partnerships and contracts. But with an eclipse, the energy could be delayed and hidden for 30 to 60 days. You're getting some clues with the full moon in Libra around the 13th, because the full moon is in your sign. And this is when it's really about getting a lot of attention, a lot of focus on the self, or bringing all these factors I've been talking about. And with the full moon in Libra, you're ready to launch and these new partnership beginnings. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co. That's .co. Until next month, be safe and well.